Following the success of his debut novel, The Things We Do, author and publisher Zola Tshayana is back with another book titled Broken, Love, Life and Stereotypes. Set in the City of Gold, this read strings us along the complicated story of Luvo Ndika, a divorced father who is on a quest to finding love again. Now, the book seeks to highlight some real-life issues by touching on themes such as divorce, sexuality, monogamy and parenthood, amongst others. Well, to speak to us more about what is this offering is all about, here's author Zola joining me now via Zoom. Zola, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you so much, Sim, and a good morning to all the listeners of Morning Live.
Now, for the benefit of our viewers, do give us a brief synopsis of what this book is all about.
The book Broken is, as you said, it's about divorce, it's about finding love, but also it's about breaking stereotypes. As you have said that I have spoken about the issue of monogamy and polygamy, and in this instance, there's also the issue of sexuality, where Ulelo is bisexual, but getting married to Uluvo, but continuing with the relationship that she's having on the side. So basically, it's about a lot of codes that people say shouldn't be broken. As you know that there's been a relationship between Lelo and Namhla prior to them meeting with Uluvo, or prior to Uluvo divorcing with Namhla. So basically, the book is about breaking stereotypes and breaking some of the unspoken codes that shouldn't be there, because love doesn't have any limitations. Love doesn't have any codes. If your soulmate is somebody else or is married to a friend and they divorce, why not? Why don't you, if you love them and they love you back, why don't you fall for them?
Yeah, and you start off the book with a moving poem also titled Broken. Speak to us about this poem and the significance it has in the book.
The poem for me, it takes, I think okay, the poem was written because I wanted to make people understand what it means to be broken and what it means for somebody's soul to be broken, and what it means for, I don't know how to put it in a way that people understand, but for me, it was something that was inside me that said, people are broken out there. People are having trouble. People are having challenges, and how then do we get that across to the people to say, look, as much as you're broken, as much as if you remember, it says like a worn and battered ceramic pot. The crack shows so vividly and pronounced. People need to be remolded. People need to be retaught what it means to love, what it means to have relationships that are not complicated.
Sure.
So it was just trying to uncomplicate the relationships that people have.
Yeah, and I found it very interesting how you touch on the issue of divorce, especially between Luvo and Namhla. Take us through this theme and why it was so important for you to highlight it in this book.
The theme of divorce in that context was highlighted because, remember, there are people that get married, and most of us, we get married when we are still young and we have not discovered ourselves. So here is Namhla saying, I'm not a housewife or a person who wants to start a family. Yes, I've started a family with you, but at the same time, I realize that I'm a career woman. I want to pursue my career. I'm still young, and the sky for me is the limit. So because if I'm married and I keep on, stringing along in this marriage thing that doesn't suit me, there's going to be challenges. But if we divorce and I give you the kids, which you love, I know you love so much, and I go and pursue my career, then that for me is what should happen. People should be free to go and pursue what they want. And if it means leaving the person because you see that it's not working out, just find a way of making it work for yourself. So people should, as much as I'm not saying people should be selfish, but at the same time I'm saying people should pursue things that they love.
Right.
Namhla has sacrificed her life about 2 or 3 times, or 3 years or 4 years of her life raising kids. And she had to make sure that her career stops. But when she gets this career move that is going to put her on the pedestal, she says, what do I have to lose? I know my husband loves the kids, and I've realized as Namhla that I'm not marriage type. So why stay in a marriage when you have realized that it's not working out for you?
And another thing that you touch on or write about is the queer issues. Do tell us about this and how you're able to write about it with so much care and depth.
I'm lucky that amongst my friends, there's a bit of or a number of people that can be identified as queer, and I have learned from them. So I use that experience to craft the storyline, but also to bring about. Remember, the issue of bisexuality is still taboo. In fact, sexuality in general is still taboo. So for me, it was a way of saying. Gender and sexuality is fluid. Gender and sexuality can still continue. You can still continue to have a normal relationship irrespective of the person's sexual orientation. But also, we need to go away from wanting to dictate how people should conduct their marriages. As the concept is about bisexuality, but at the same time, the known concept of marriage. So most people will say, if you are married, therefore you should be monogamous, or you shouldn't have a same-sex relationship. For me, that shouldn't happen. People should define marriage for themselves. So Lelo and Luvo need to define their own marriage according to what they want their marriage to look like and what they want their marriage to achieve.
And throughout the book, you highlight the importance of making very difficult life choices. Speak to us about some of these choices that Luvo had to make throughout this book.
Luvo has to balance between loving his children but also having a life of his own.
Okay.
But at the same time, he has to balance between understanding what Lelo wants. Remember, life is not about us at the end of the day.
Yes.
If you love somebody, you want to make sure that the person is happy. So Luvo has to balance between that, loving Lelo, but also accepting Lelo for who she is. And if he's saying I love you and I want to marry you, then he's saying I want to marry you the way you are. He's not changing her. But at the same time, there are quite other. For instance, the businesses that Luvo has had to the decisions that he has had to make. For instance, moving his business and making sure that he's working from home to accommodate. To accommodate the fact that now he's a single father. That's a choice that he has had to make. Most of us, we are not making those choices where we put our children first. So Luvo has had to balance his life, his work life, his professional life, and his love life, and also his family life, because he's also staying with his mother. And he has to make sure that whatever he does, he doesn't alienate the people that are in his life.
Yeah.
And there's also the element, the third element, the other woman that he's having. And now he has to make sure that he can't have his bread buttered on both sides. So he has to make a decision as to whether he's going to marry Unompumelelo, or he's going to say, okay, I'm not marrying anybody because there's this other woman that has been in my life for so long. So basically, it's about having the backbone to and the sensitivity to understand the other person that you are in love with, but also the dynamics around family, around children. Because remember, Lelo doesn't have children, and Luvo needs to protect his children as a father, so that whatever happens, they are not disenfranchised.
Okay. Just before I let you go, I mean, you say that this book will leave us questioning our own sexuality and our beliefs on mutual exclusivity and monogamy. Do take us through what you mean by this.
For me, gender is fluid. Sexuality is fluid.
Okay.
I know I've had conversations with people who are saying they're not sure whether they are sexually questioning or bi-curious. So I'm saying to people, let's start having these conversations, because there's quite a number of people out there who are not sure what is going on with their lives, but who are afraid to explore. So for me, this book is about questioning who you are. It's about finding yourself. It's about finding who your love is. And it's about finding what works for you as a human being. Not what society expects from you as a man or as a woman or as a married man or as a married woman, but what works for you as a man, what works for you as an individual, what works for you as a woman, so that you do not have to blame society when things go south at the end of the day. So,
okay. All right, Zola, great chatting to you. We don't have much time, unfortunately, but then thank you so much for sharing your insights about this book. We appreciate your time. Joining us on Zoom there to speak about his latest book titled Broken, Love, Life and Stereotypes. That was author and publisher Zola Tshayana. Let's take a quick break. We'll have more at the top of the hour.
Cabinet